Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint now when we say demons are owners, what happens when you vibrate in that frequency, when you have those emotions? Understand what the emotions are. Your soul has to hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so
stronger bonds among women, right? And how can women balance ambition with collaboration without feeling the need to compete? Is it possible for women to collaborate, right, and not be in competition, right? On social media, it seems like women can't become allies, right? But when it comes to the streets, I'm gonna be very honest, right? When I see women compete, right, is more because they trying to take a man. You see where I'm coming from, or she thinks she's better than this person, right? And I see it with women do it towards men and women, right? On social media, I see more women get on here and disrespect men, right, than what I see it out here. I see a lot of women out here try to make a difference, try to make a change. But you come on here and it's like what you see out here, right? Doesn't even exist. That's why you keep hearing a lot of people on all that, social media and outside is the same. It is to a certain extent, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of women, a lot of men come on social media to say and do things, right, that they think they're gonna get away with, right? And they know they can't say out here in front of the person that they want to say it to or whatever, right? Because there's consequences behind all your actions, but in social media it's not no different. I've seen people lose their lives behind this shit, right? So yesterday we was reviewing reacting. Go check out part 1, right? We did the review and reaction to the toxic mom, right? Little Miss Shirley, boots on the ground's mom. We was talking about her behavior, right? And me personally, I feel as though, right, as women, as leaders, right, of our communities, right, leaders, right, when it comes to our households, right, because listen, we're supposed to be leading our kids into the right paths, right? We're supposed to be teaching them, right, guiding them. But a lot of women are focused on the wrong things, right? As women, as a mother, I feel as though we should not be bringing our daughters on social media to be, doing adult entertainment, entertaining grown folks, right? Dancing like they're grown, right? Treating them like they're grown up, because at the end of the day, the consequences behind that, once your child gets older, right? Your child is going to be sitting here talking back, trying to demand things from you that you're not going to listen. The consequences behind all this, like, parents are forgetting discipline, right? And I feel as though, right, I agree with a lot of people when they say that social media, right, is ruining the perception of what should define a woman and how a woman should carry herself, right? As a mother, we shouldn't be coming on social media behaving like this. So we're going to watch a little bit more of Pink Lessons, right? Speaking on Mama Tish, ain't having it, defends viral sensation, Miss Shirley, and threatens to sue, right? We talked a little bit about this yesterday on part 1. My baby daddy gave his perspective. Shout out to my baby Pop show. So I appreciate him for co-hosting with me, yo. He listened. We had a great live. Shout out to Miss Akimi. Shout out to Miss Yo Thoughts, man, for popping up in the chat. Yo, and I found Miss Yo Thoughts poem that I made for him, and I'm definitely gonna play it. Like, I appreciate these great women on here that are sitting here, right? And I could sit here and I could say that the content that these women bring to social media, I could sit here and give it to a younger female, right? Younger than me, for inspiration and motivation. There are women out here that are, cool, that they're cool, they're relaxed, that they want to, that they don't want drama, they don't want bullshit, they just want to live, love, and laugh. But there are other women out here that just live for the drama. It's like they can't survive if they're not in some drama. Then they want to sit here and turn around and play victim. That I cannot understand. So we're gonna play a little bit of what I think and I feel as though us mothers should not be doing on here on social media, right? This is my opinion, right? I shouldn't get this far. Fame and money should not have you out here exploiting your child.
He's saying everybody responding to these age inappropriate videos, the ones she's posting online to the public internet, is somehow defaming her for not agreeing with her. Yeah, she's accusing people of bullying her for having an opinion or reacting to what she's posting.
I lost so much. Not only did I lose, but I became the most hated person.
It never fails. Not only is she avoiding accountability for her own actions,
Facts.
she's also trying to paint
Oh my God.
herself as a victim. Lady, it's very simple.
Yo, this is
If
not
you don't want
saying
anybody to respond or have an opinion about the videos
Oh yeah, the
you're
internet messing
posting,
with me today.
stop posting them. And this fool can't possibly own a dictionary, or she's too lazy to educate herself because you could.
I'm there, yo. I like the way Pink Lessons put that. She said, this fool cannot possibly own a dictionary. And I'm listening, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
Find a dictionary online, just like you can find her daughter's videos online. But she's obviously unaware of what the words defame and bully mean, especially in legal terms. I'm saying her lack of sufficient education is beating her up right now, and it's impossible to feel sorry for this lady. Again, these are not private videos. If you make these videos public of your daughter rolling, licking her tongue out and popping it, you're going to receive public, not private criticism and public reaction.
Do women and men know what defamation of character is? What bullying and harassment is? I don't think a lot of these women and men that come on social media know the real definition, the meaning, the terminology, right, of these words that they're using. What's crazy is why, right? I say that because I see a lot of women defend women and men that come on here that do that type of shit and bash the people, right? That bring awareness to that type of shit. And I see men do the same shit. It's a vice versa thing. That's why I say, man, I don't know why men come on here and get messy, but women do it too. So let's not get testy.
Just because people don't agree with you or didn't give your inappropriate videos a favorable review doesn't mean they're defaming you. You just don't like their reaction.
Facts.
Because y'all talking about that, y'all doing all this to me as a mother.
Yeah, y'all are doing all this to her as a mother. She's saying mother because as a mother, nobody's supposed to disagree with her or criticize her.
Why? Because she's a woman?
This was a father.
She's a mother?
The same exact thing. He would be called a PDF file and the police would have been at his front door midstream. The platforms, Facebook, TikTok, all of them would have also banned him for that kind of content. Yet this woman is allowed to do what she's doing.
That's a fact, yo. If it was a man doing this, the issue would have been 10 times worse. And that's why I say, like, yo, what's crazy is, right, females come on here and they bash men, not realizing, yo, if this man was to do what you just sat here and did to this man, oh, hell will break loose. Why do women come online and act like this? Like, I feel as though at one, at no point in time, I mean, I don't know, their parents, because you see, you got kids out here that parents teach them morals, responsibility, respect, all of that, right? But it's like when they get older, none of that even exists. So this situation is crazy, right? As a woman, right? As a mother, right? Would you bring your daughter online and get mad after, how can I say it? The viewers and subscribers come at you for looking like you're exploiting your child? I feel as though this woman needs to, take her daughter off social media, right? And give her a coloring book and let her play with other kids. Like, I feel as though this woman is living off of insecurities and she's living it through her child. For real. Like, this cannot be the generational welfare that she plans on leaving behind for her child. Like, I feel as though that a lot of women and a lot of men set their kids for failure.
And the social media platforms are allowing her to do it.
It don't make sense, man.
And look how she's trying to play victim. You know that mother line was supposed to be a mic drop. No, what doesn't make sense is what you're allowing your daughter to do on the internet.
Both of my kids are well taken care of.
You. Taking care of you.
They well taken care of.
And she's up here having a grown woman conversation right now in front of the little girl, cursing and talking about legs in the air and all that in front of the 4-year-old daughter.
Can we call ourselves a real woman, right? Can we call ourselves real mothers, right? When we do things like this in front of our daughters, right? I see women out here, right? Mothers call their daughters bitches. Have conversations like this, and I'm sitting here, this is what you're passing on? This is what you're showing your daughter that defines what a woman should be? This is what you're teaching your daughter, that this is how a woman should carry herself? This is what we're passing on. Not all of us. I'm speaking in general. All right. If the shoe fits, wear that bitch, right? And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Shit. This is what we're passing on.
There's a boundary issue, but here's another example. When grown folks start talking, what your mama told you to go do? Drop it below in the comments. Let me see if you had a decent mama or if you had a toxic one like this one right here.
Get out of grown folks' conversations.
They ain't with no men. Ain't no men in and out my house or none of that. None of that, because I don't play that.
Girl, don't no man of value want you. The only man you can get around you in that house with all them children on the City Girl boot camp are low value men that can only live off you and your daughter's dancing boots videos. That's it. That and the PDF files. Because there's no decent man that will see what you do out here with your daughter, how you're coaching her, that will look at you as a high value woman.
Why do women think these things are cute? Why do women think that stuff like this would draw men's attention? And you see, like, these younger women that are imitating these type of behaviors think that it's okay too, because they seeing somebody that they look up to do it. Is this what we're teaching our daughters? That this is what defines a woman and this is how she should carry herself? See, we need to be careful in what we're teaching our daughters, right? And social media right here, I swear to God, social media is, how can I say, destroying the perception of what men and women, right, presence should be and how they should carry themselves. Could you imagine a world without women? Could you imagine a world without children? Could you imagine a world without kids?
Red flags all over the place. So all you can do is get a man living off you, looking to use you for your daughter's TikTok attention and event bookings or a PDF file. That's it.
We go out, we have a good time. She do her events. Some of her events don't even last an hour. And y'all be like, oh, she got Miss Shirley. Oh, Miss Shirley gonna tell you when she fine. Miss Shirley gonna tell you when she fine. So
this mama tripping.
Ain't gonna do nothing either when she fine.
I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna dance or nothing.
You hush while I'm talking.
Are you looking to establish your business using
I gotta go to my premium on the next video. We're going to premium on the next video.
Yeah, that's the baby. She's still listening to the conversation. And now she's joining the conversation at 4 years old, helping her mama as her mama try to clap back on live.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I've seen the videos, man, where this little girl was talking about, you know, where the hate is at, you know, where them fans at and all this stuff. I'm sitting here like, is you serious? And then you only book her for adult entertainment. See, right here, man, I'm going to leave it at that, right? Y'all can go check out Pink Lessons, right, for more details on this story, right? But I wanted to use this as an example, right? Women, this is not what we should be teaching our daughters. This is not what defines a woman. You see where I'm coming from? Like, if y'all want our younger women to do better, right, in the future, we have to instill, right, morals, respect, self-love into these children. But that's something that we're failing in this era, right? And something that I cannot seem to answer on why. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find. Does society glorify perseverance too much, making people afraid to walk away from unhealthy situations? And is confidence the most defining trait of a woman's presence, or does it come from something deeper, right? Because I don't see this mom speaking with confidence, right? I don't see her speaking with strength. I see her speaking with insecurities, with doubt. Does the way a woman carries herself impact the way others treat her? Right? So with that being said, right, in that video out the way, I want to get into the video that says, right, the way society defines a woman.
To be talking about society's definition of a woman. So I'm going to start first by looking at the fact that women, no matter who they are, where you find them, how much independent or dependent they are usually defined by their relationship to the men in their lives. Now, these men are their father, their husband, and their sons. So I'm going to go into each of these categories and talk about them.
I would like to hear from the older women. Is that true? Do women get defined by the men that are in their life? I thought it was by the women in their life, right? Like the mother and grandmother, aunties and stuff like that. I didn't know that. I know that that the man plays a big role, but what happens when the man is not in there? Like, you see where I'm coming from? I grew up without a father, but I grew up with my grandfather in my life. He was in and out. You see where I'm coming from? Because he lived in PR, I lived here in Philly, right? But it was always my mom. And that was the one that I looked up to. Shit. So it's kind of like, wait, huh? It's a little different. So I'm guessing she's talking from a perspective where you've had both parents, right?
A bit. So the first phase of a woman's life starts out by being the daughter of somebody, where as the daughter, she is owned by her father. She gets her name from her father. She gets her identity from her father. And whatever she does is a reflection of the kind of father and by extension, the kind of home that she comes from. And it's not a bad thing, really. Everybody does come from somewhere and does have a father, whether they're present or not. But someone has a father somewhere, even if they came via in vitro fertilization, whatever. There is a father or a sperm donor, for lack of a better word. But in the cases where there is a father present, this father is expected to be the provider for his child. He's expected to be the protector of his child, and he's expected to groom her to the point where he transfers that ownership to somebody. But before that transference, he's expected to keep her pure. He's expected to keep her, holy, chaste, whatever the term is, because by extension, whatever she does is a definition of him.
All right. My bad. I'm trying to control these little keyboard thingies. I'm trying to control the mute button and everything through the mouse like my son taught me. These little fucking tricks is cool. All right, give me 1 second. This John is lacking, right? All right. So, according to her, right, let me go back because I need to get a better understanding of what she's saying. So I'm guessing she's saying, it's like my baby pop said yesterday, having a baby, having a father figure in your life, right, makes a big difference, a big impact.
Identity from her father, and whatever she does is a reflection of the kind of father and by extension the kind of home that she comes from. And it's not a bad thing, really. Everybody does come from somewhere and does have a father, whether they're present or not. But someone has a father somewhere, even if they came via in vitro fertilization, whatever. There is a father or a sperm donor, for
She
lack
said
of
a
a better
sperm
word.
donor.
But in the cases where there is a father present, this father is expected to be the provider for his child. He's expected to be the protector of his child. And he's expected to groom her to the point where he transfers that ownership to somebody. But before that transference, he's expected to keep her pure. He's expected to keep her, holy, chaste, whatever the term is, because by extension, whatever she does is a definition of him or an explanation of the kind of way that he raised her. So if she's the girl who finds, sexual liberation, they think that he has done a poor job, right? If she's abused, is that he didn't protect her very well. If she's lacking in anything, is that he didn't provide enough for her. So every father tries to make sure that his daughter is ready for the next phase because he's handing over that power to the next person.
That sounds accurate, right? I cannot confirm it or deny it. You see where I'm coming from, right? Because I grew up in a society where some of my friends had fathers, right? And the other ones didn't. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I mean, you do need that father figure in your life. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I feel as though having a father figure in a little girl's life, her father figure, her biological father, right? Could show a young lady what a man is supposed to be like in the future, what she should be looking for. You see where I'm coming from? So she's making a good point on this. But unfortunately, a lot of young ladies out here don't have that father figure out here. You see where I'm coming from? So it's up to the mom, right, to let the biological father, be a part, right? And I say it's up to the mom because that's how it's been. You see where I'm coming from? Like if the mom sits here and says, "Hey, I want a restraining order. I don't want the father to be a part," and I've seen it, right? Some deserve it, some don't. The duality to this shit, right? Like the yin and yang to this, right? Because it's crazy. Some of these men out here should be a part of their kids' lives, but sometimes you got the women out here that don't let them be a part of their child's life, right? So does a young lady, right, in order to become a woman, is it necessary to have a father in her life? Because the reason why I asked that question is, right, I turned out okay. I turned out to be a good woman, a great woman at that, a great mother, right? And my father wasn't in my presence. You see where I'm coming from? And what made me strong in life has been the obstacles that I've had to overcome. My children made me even stronger when I had them, right? My two boys taught me how to love, right? Not just how to give love, but how to receive love, right? And my daughter taught me how to become stronger, how to become more disciplined. As crazy as it sounds, but these are the things that my kids have taught me, right? My daughter was the one that had taught me how to humble myself. Like, okay, now you got to start being more ladylike, because you see where I'm coming from. Compared to the boys that were looking up to the male figures in their life, right? My daughter was looking up to me. So I had to lead by example, right? And I feel as though that a lot of women lack in that. You cannot sit here and say that a lot of women lead by example when a lot of women, right, are still, how can I say, are not women. Their body has physically grown, right? But mature, they have not matured. They're not like, they're little girls in women's bodies. They have not grown maturely, whether it is emotionally, mentally, right, or sexually. And let's not forget spiritually. And I'm gonna keep saying that.
The second phase of a woman's life, as defined by society, is the wife phase. Now, this is the part where the father hands over, sort of like a relay race, the power that he has had over his daughter, the power to protect her, the power to provide for her, the power to, provide her to the next person as this chaste pure, holy person that, you know, moves into the next phase. And then the husband joyfully accepts this person, right? Because he's now taking on the role of protector, provider, and he expects some things in return. He expects that the woman will take care of all of his needs, that the woman would, you know, respect him, she would prepare for the next phase, which is the third phase for her, but that, you know, she lives for him. And what does he do for that? He then confers her.
All right. I had to come back to the studio real quick, right, to show my face. I wanna see. I want to get the perspective, right, from a lot of the older women, right, and a lot of the older men. Do y'all agree, right? I'm like, listen. I just want to get y'all perspective. Do y'all agree with what she's saying, right? I mean, I do know that a father figure, right, is needed for a lot of young women, right? Like, you know, for the protection and all that. The mother is there for that, right? But it's a little different. And I've seen it with my daughter, right? And her father. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's a little different when daddy is there, right? And they feel a little more secure compared to how I was when I was younger. You see where I'm coming from? It's a big difference. And I'm not saying that I was weak, because him not there made me 10 times more stronger. I always had to come to mom. But see, people know my story. So at the end of the day, listen, I don't, listen, does accepting vulnerability, right, weakens a woman's aura? And I don't think it does, because I learned that I had to sometimes lower my shield, right, and let certain people in, right, and be vulnerable. But I can't do it for everybody. So I don't feel as though it weakens a woman's aura. If anything, it makes her stronger.
Status. He gives her his name. He gives her protection. She comes under his wings. He's expected to then, you know, take.
Shit, I apologize, Walhart. I didn't see you back there. I appreciate you for the support, though. He said, let me see. I didn't know he was back here, but he says backstage. I think we talked before. That's like treating women like property for me, passing the woman from the father to the husband. I don't know. You're talking about that now. Marriage, I don't know. I don't think that's treating a woman like property. Like, you see where I'm coming from? I mean, that's how you perceive it. You know, yeah, I mean, we are all entitled for our, you know, opinions and stuff like that. But I don't think we all see it the same way, right? But I respect, you know, the way you see it. I respect your opinion. It's a different way of me, you know, seeing it. But I never thought about it like that, for real. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize, right, a lot of women that haven't had a father figure in their life, right, have sat here and picked the same type of men that their mother has picked, or their grandmother has picked, or their auntie has picked, right? And now they're repeating the same story. They're repeating the same cycle, right? So, I mean, I feel as though sometimes, I feel as though at all times the father should be there, especially if he's a good father. Now, if he ain't shit, if he ain't a real father, get that motherfucker to the curb and let your child know the reality of shit. For real. Don't lie to your child. Because in the long run, your child, when they get older, is going to want to look for their dad. You see where I'm coming from? Listen, I was a child at one point. This is why I'm saying this like this. Like, no matter how many bad things or how many good things you say, the child is going to want to see it for themselves. One way or another, one day in the future, the child's going to go find out for themselves.
Take care of her, provide for her, and do all of that. And she is supposed to respect him, make sure that whatever she does brings him honor, does not disrespect him in any way. And, you know, because now she's no longer a reflection of her father, she's now a reflection of her husband. And this in itself is not a problem. I'm lying. It is a problem. But then, you know, a lot of women think that this is what they want, and it's fine. I completely believe that it's fine that we all choose the paths that we want. And sometimes we prefer a particular thing. And it's fine if that's what you want to do, if this is the life you want to live. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So in this phase, a lot of fathers completely remove responsibility. We have had situations where people say, oh, I'm married, and then my husband beats me up. And they go to their fathers, and their fathers are like, go back to your husband. And yes, it is weird.
That's abuse.
But the man thinks, you know what, in this phase of your life, I'm not your protector anymore. I am not your provider anymore. I'm your father, yes, but you now have a husband who has taken over the protection, the providing.
No, lady, you tripping. Man, I want to ask the real fathers out here. You're telling me that if your daughter came to you telling you that her husband beat her, you're going to tell her to go back to the relationship and fix that? Hell no, man. Look, listen, I don't know if because I was raised by my mama. You see, she had to be a father and a mother at the same time. But no. She taught me differently. Even though we had our ups and downs, right, as mother and daughter, right? Listen, I love my mama. I just didn't like certain things she did. You see where I'm coming from? But I love that lady. I just didn't like the things that she did. Certain things, you see where I'm coming from? That made her look real bad. But other than that, shit, my mama taught me better than that.
And all of that. And so I have done my bit. So go back to this new protector
Nah,
that you have. Go back to this new person who is your provider and, sort it out.
Hell no, we walk away. If a man sits here and puts hands on me, I'm done. There's no second chances. Women, would y'all forgive the man? Nah, man. Now you see, man, look, listen, nah. And I don't agree when a woman does it to a man. I feel as though that's fuck that. In the relationship. Once violence becomes a part of the relationship, there's no respect, you should walk away.
And we have a lot of women who stay in really abusive situations because they know that they can't go back to their first provider, their first protector, who in this case is their father. And the third phase of a woman's life, according to society, is the mother phase. Now, in this phase, she's supposed to extend this new protector's progeny. She's supposed to give birth to children, expand his descendants, make sure that he continues to live on from the children that come out of her. Now, if she gives birth to just girls, people would look at her and be like, oh, yeah, you gave birth. Yeah, you're a mother. But a lot of people will not respect her. Which is why till tomorrow, we have a lot of cultures, a lot of religions that do not consider you as a part of the family unless you've given birth to a son. So the son is the third phase, is the final part of the trifecta, is that, oh, this was the first part of the relay race. This was the second part of the relay race. Then the third part, the handing over, is this part where you become a mother to a son. Because many people do not consider that their generation or their descendants will continue on from the girls they have. They think it is the boys that confer continuation, that you who is a girl will go to some other family and ensure continuation for that family, but not for your family. And again, it's how society has defined male-female interactions and male-female relationships. And basically, I have been trying not to say the word patriarchy, but that's just what it is. They have said that the man is the one who continues the family's
legacy.
What do you call it? Race, for lack of a better word.
I think what she's trying to say, and I think I've heard about this before, right? The man is the one that carries on the last name, the legacy, right? See where I'm coming from? But the daughter is the one that, sits here and gives birth. You see where I'm coming from? So it's like, look, listen, let's put it like this, right? When a man gets together, right? When the son gets together with a woman, right? And has a baby, the last name continues, right? But when a female gets together, right, with another man and has a baby, right? The last name doesn't. The legacy doesn't move on. See, now the legacy that continues is with the man that she got with. So I think I'm understanding what she's talking about, but she's saying it in a different way. I don't know why.
Or descendants. That's not a word, but you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we have these three parts that society expects a woman to be and defines her by. One, the daughter, who is protected by her father, who is defined by her father. Two, the wife, who is now defined by her husband. Three, the mother, who is defined by her son. Having reached these 3 stages of life, right, society expects women to do a couple of things to maintain the status quo. In fact,
so what happens when the mother is the one that raises both the son and the daughter because she's playing the father figure? How is the daughter defined by the father and the son defined by the mother in that situation? It makes no sense. She's kind of contradicting herself in this situation. I get where she's coming from, but see, what she's saying in reality, I don't know if it's like that where she's from, but over here, right? The only way that the legacy gets broken is when the woman marries, right? And has a kid with the person that she married. Because now the legacy continues, but with her husband, not with her father. Now, when the son has a kid, when he marries and has a kid, right, with a woman, the legacy continues because the last name continues. Am I saying it right? I'm like, well, the way she's saying it is backwards. Like, what the hell?
We have many religions and many cultures and traditions that insist that if you do not reach, especially the second and third phase of your life as a woman, that you are not a woman. You're not seen as a woman. You're not seen as responsible or respectful or one that should be accorded any sort of respect in society. So if a girl says, I'm not getting married, there are people who would actively work to say, oh, she's a slut. Oh, she's a prostitute. Oh, she's...
That's not true. Listen, I didn't want to get married for the longest until I say yes to my fiance, right? And throughout that whole time, I did not experience nobody calling me a prostitute, a hoe, a slut, none of that, because I wanted to be single. And I had kids. Like, what the fuck? Okay, see, listen. Society has ruined what the perception of a woman's presence and how a woman should carry herself indefinitely. For real. Because this is crazy and shout out. So if I'm not married, I'm not a woman. I'm not considered a woman in her book. Okay, let's move on, right? Like, if y'all want to, keep watching, you can check her out. Shades of Us, U.S. Africa, right? And this is on YouTube. So we're going to continue, right? And we're going to finish this live off with Beautiful Ones live, right? Shout out to Miss Yo Thoughts. Shout out to Miss Akimi, right? But before I do, man, let me see, did I actually find it? I found Miss Yo Thoughts. Yep, I found the poem that I made for Miss Yo Thoughts. So let me share it real quick, man. Big shout out to Miss Yo Thoughts, man. I'm telling y'all that when I reach Miss Yo Thoughts' age, when I reach Miss Akimi's age, I want to be able to sit here, right, and check people the way they do it. Because it's really cooler. Like, I've seen my baby pops disrespect other people so respectfully. I'm like, wait, did you just diss them? You can't even tell they got dissed. And the fool's right there laughing. I'm saying, like, yo, he just dissed you. Burn! Like on that 70s show. Like, what the fuck? You just sat here and laughed at his diss? You ain't realize he dissed you, right? Like, what the fuck? It should be crazy. But shout out to Miss Yo Thoughts, yo, for real.
Miss Yo Thoughts, a beacon of grace, her wisdom's like a warm embrace, bringing back the old ways, so pure, in this chaotic world we endure. An older woman with stories untold, her knowledge worth more than gold, guiding me with words so wise, in her presence I realize, respecting the past, learning from before. Miss Yo Thoughts opens up new doors, bringing back in style what's been lost, a generation in need of wisdom's cost.
That's some real shit. She's bringing back in style what's in need, a generation in lost cost. So let me get to Miss Akimi's poem real quick, right? Real quick. Let me get to Miss Akimi. Oh, I know I got so many damn poems. If y'all want to check these poems out, make sure y'all go check us out on TikTok, right? I got all my poems on TikTok, and I am bringing out more poems on TikTok, right? And our poetry book on Amazon, The Way a Shorty Sees the World. So make sure y'all go to Amazon and check our poetry book. And there's another one coming out. Damn. Oh yeah, man, I forgot Miss Genesis. Yo, let's big shout out to Miss Genesis.
Miss Genesis 1, an old soul so wise, guiding us with truth that opens our eyes. Her words may challenge, but she knows the way, offering solutions to brighten our day. With a heart full of love and a mind so clear, she speaks with conviction, casting out fear. Though her answers may not be what we seek, in her wisdom we find the strength we seek.
Oh, because I'm like, my daughter be accusing me of cheating. It's you who's here, not another man. Because if she comes to you again, tell her it was you.
Beacon of light, leading us forward through the darkest night.
My bad. I was talking over the poem.
Miss Genesis 1, an old soul so wise, guiding us with truth that opens our eyes. Her words may challenge, but she knows the way, offering solutions to brighten our day. With a heart full of love and a mind so clear, she speaks with conviction, casting out fear. Though her answers may not be what we seek, in her wisdom we find the strength we seek. Listen closely to her words of grace.
I didn't even know he was coming back. Miss
Genesis 1, a beacon of light,
I was like,
leading us forward through the darkest night.
Because I thought you was gonna be put up. All right, so we're gonna let me get Miss Akimi's in here. All right, we gotta play Miss Akimi's. I hate that I gotta do it like this. Oh, what happened? Miss Akimi's poem got lost in the process. Ain't that something, y'all? Or did I skip it by accident? See? I get distracted too easily. Too easy. Look, listen, here we go. This is what I'm supposed to do. Because it is a part of today. Damn, see, I'm distracted. You know what? I don't like you. For some reason, I'm too grown for you to still make me have butterflies in my stomach and still have me acting like I'm 15, all discombobulated and shit, all right? I don't like that. You walked in and I got all discombobulated. Yo. All right, here we go. World without children. I got to get to Miss Akimi's poem.
Would this world function properly without the laughter of children's glee? Their innocence and pure hearts, adding color to life's art. Imagine a world without their curious minds, no tiny hands to hold in times. Their dreams and hopes a beacon bright, guiding us through the darkest night. For in the eyes of a child we see the possibility of what could be. Their love and light, a gift so rare, a world without them, we cannot bear. In a world without women, will there be loving compassion? Their strength and wisdom, essential for our evolution. From nurturing to leading with grace, women bring balance to every space. Their resilience and empathy, crucial for humanity's harmony. Can this world truly function without the essence of their contribution? Let's honor and respect them, for they are the heart of our civilization. In a world without men, will we thrive or fall? Could we find balance, or will chaos call? Strength and power they bring, but also strive. Can this world function without them in our life? Leaders and workers, fathers and sons. Their absence may leave us all in the run, but empathy and grace can fill the void. Can this world function without men deployed? Yet women have risen strong and true, breaking barriers, making their debut. Together we stand, hand in hand. Can this world function without man's command?
Can this world function without a man's command? Oh shit, I gotta find Ms. Akimi's poem before I get started. So if y'all want to check out Shorty's poems, once again, come check us out on TikTok. I got Ms. Yotos right here. Ms. Akimi should be coming up. Damn, I didn't realize I made all these poems like that. All lives matter. Jeez. Yesterday I had Miss Akimi's and today I lost it. Ain't that some shit? There we go. Jeez.
Miss Akimi, she plays no games. She'll read your cards, know your aims. With your horoscope, past and future clear, she's a woman of substance with no fear. Stands for something, fall for nothing. Kind-hearted soul, always loving. Miss Akimi sees through the facade, guiding you with wisdom, never flawed. In her presence, truth unfolds. With gentle eyes, her story told. Miss Akimi's spirit shines bright, a beacon of hope in the darkest night. Shout out to Miss Akimi.
Huh? Maybe another one of this.
Miss Akimi, she plays no games. She'll read your cards, know your aims. With your
That's a fact, man. Big shout out to Miss Akimi, Miss Yo Thoughts, Miss Genesis One. 3 great women on this platform, right? That show women what the true definition of a woman's presence is. Don't get mad. Don't hate the player. Hate the game, man. Shout out to them though, for real. So let's finish off yesterday's live, right? So after today, we're not going to play this no more. All right, we're going to get into the current news next weekend. All right, I'm not sure what we're going to get into tomorrow, but I'm not getting on live later on. So just stay tuned to the uploads until then.
So my thing is, and it was like she donates to people bashing women. But what I see is just men retaliating on things that you said to them. So if I have a son, and if I'm seeing my son being attacked, I expect for him to not let, this person just disrespect him like that. But so I'm sitting back like, hey, you're doing this on your own. But it's entertainment at the end of the day. So I've looked at sitcoms like Martin with him and Pam. I've looked at sitcoms like Fred Sanford with him and Esther. This is YouTube. This is what people have to realize. This is YouTube. I'm looking at
blessings, Vandy. Game and blessings. Welcome to the live.
Characters in my eyes. So if I'm looking at Damn D and Sister T, that was hilarious. Both of them cracked on each other and it was entertainment. Because she didn't hold up and he didn't hold up either. But one thing about Damn D was never disrespectful. He never called her out of her name or anything like that. Okay? Now, we get to the point where you have Kwame, you have TJ, you have Soulfly, you have all of these people, and then you come, the first thing, because I've been in this sector, you come and you have talked down underneath this man's clothes. So he comes back speaking about you. You wasn't expecting that because you're used to this woman thing of getting over. And this is why I want to go to the point about women using their power in the wrong way. Don't sit here and slap a man. Then when he turns around and slap your ass back, and I look at you and say, hey, you shouldn't have slapped him in the first place. Oh, you don't support women.
Yo, the beef on these platforms be crazy, yo. Does a strong mindset guarantee success, or are external factors just as important? Right? Can a strong mindset be taught, or is it something people develop through experience? What impact does surrounding yourself with the right people have on your ability to succeed?
You're a pick-me. You don't support women. So So I'm confused on what a woman is, because the last time I checked, a woman doesn't initiate arguments with men, especially someone that can overpower them. A woman is supposed to be, to me, from what I learned, my examples of women are feminine. They stay away from trouble, away from strife, unless you fuck with our cubs. So, excuse my French, but this is going to get a little gangster. I'm sorry. But my thing is, I just look at it this way. I have brothers, and I'm going to tell you just like this. If I see any female that's going to come towards my brothers, I'm going to be the one that's going to retaliate on you. So my thing is, I've never disrespected this woman, but to be called bitches and mutts for nothing and then say, you're not protecting Black women. Well, you know what? Then call me whatever the hell you want to, but I will not be protecting your ass. See, I'm tired of the misbehavior of us, then turning around saying, protect us.
Why do women come online and act a fool and then ask for protection? That's one thing I never understood. Right? If you're independent and you're this, why you're asking for protection? See, I don't understand. I don't know if the women, right? It was crazy. It'd be these older women too, but do they really know the definition of what an independent woman is? If you're so independent, why are you asking a man for protection? Right? That's what I'm saying. Like they get the conception, like they misunderstand, like they don't understand the definitions of what is coming out of their mouth. And the majority of the women are like that on here, but men are like that too.
What protection do we need? What protection do we need? And I agree with these men. If you was a woman, you would already have that protection. You would have a man beside you. That's his job to protect you. That's your brother's job to protect you. It is also your job to protect you.
Don't forget, beautiful one, a lot of women are not matured. So they come on this platform, right? I don't need this. I could do this. I could do that, right? But then turn around. I need a man to protect me. I need a woman to back me up. But I thought you could do it all by yourself. You could be bad all by yourself, right? You see where I'm coming from? Some of these females are insecure, but the men are too.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Miss Your Thoughts? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
1 second. Salute to everybody. How you doing, ladies? Beautiful one. Salute to you.
Ladies yesterday. Okay.
Salute to the chat.
We was a little earlier than this.
Salute, beautiful one, and say thank you for your continued support of the platform and Black men. I mean, everything you said just now, I agree with. In terms of women and what a woman is, there's a lot of things to describe what a woman is. But in this instance, one of the things that stands out is, I believe in this instance, a woman is somebody that is mature enough to recognize the truth, process that truth, and then, act accordingly if they're in error to fix whatever it is they're in error about. You know what I'm saying? It's just being mature. And one of the problems that we have with these individuals that we're talking about is just that they do not know how to process the truth. It's like,
that's some real shit. But we're gonna go to where we was off yesterday. So I'm thinking of somewhere around here.
So God will direct me there. I don't know, but me myself, because it's so much to do, it takes my time.
Yes.
So if this is gonna take my time, I
am so happy that you're here.
Yeah, it was a little further than that. See, I know it.
And everybody having a good time. It's fine. We on this thing have a good time. We having a good time. It's cool. Don't make it so serious. Just be cool with each other and love one another.
I can't skip some days
so I can calm down, so it won't be a problem. But I want you to know I don't like the way you move. And sometimes
Hold up.
I'm telling you, the Lord said, "Ask and you shall receive."
That's
my
right.
man showed up, honey. My man showed up.
Red bubble. Hold up. Russell.
Let's get to the conversation. Let's get to the. I'm sorry.
Russell.
You
King. To do you was the.
Hey, I was trying to get to Ms. Yotard speaking.
Minju, I thank you, Russell. Guys, I'll continue to rock this. We have. You know what I'm saying? So he deserved an applause.
Oh yeah, we're still talking about Russell.
Hold on. Here. I appreciate it much. And Linda Fields. When I tell you, baby, if and I know you started that Red Bubble Russell as well. Red Bubble Draw. I'm calling to 86 to Candyman.
I want to get to the conversation.
We have so many great content creators. Salute to all the supporters. And number one, the people that come to understand this time is the most valuable thing that you can give a person. That's the one thing I ask these people. You're worried about a super chat. What about the time? So I look at time being the most valuable thing that we could give each other. So I love all of you guys. I really do. I really do.
And we love you, beautiful one. Miss Your Thoughts is in the backstage.
Hold on, let me let her back up.
Okay. The whole that's what I think that's probably, well, not probably, I think that's part of the problem. If I can say just really quickly, you have to recognize what's from God and what's not.
Facts.
And then that may sound simple, but I think people confuse the two often, especially in the times in the world that we're living in. And if you are blessed enough to be surrounded by people that reciprocate your vibrational level of energy, then it's a win-win. And I typically interpret that as God sending me that person, even if it's just for a time. So I just wanted to insert that. It was like a little sidebar.
Oh, I love it.
Can I get in? I got to say something, y'all.
Come on, you Miss Y'all.
Yeah, hey Genesis, hey Styles, hey everybody that joined the panel. How you girls doing? Y'all all right?
Hey.
Hey, listen, I want to talk about something too. I want to
Come
bring
on.
this up. I had this conversation with Mr. Keenan because we talk some deep stuff. We talk spiritual stuff. We talk about the stuff on YouTube. I talk about everything and everything I don't like. I sure do. I talk about all that. But I want to talk about this. What I really dislike is us women tearing down one another. I despise that. Do y'all understand me? I hate that.
That's an issue that we keep having nowadays.
If you don't like another woman, and because we women can be catty, bitchy, and some more stuff. I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room right now.
Come on.
Okay. All right. So we don't like each other. Even if we're on this side, we may not like each other. I'm just saying we may not care about each other. We might not like the way each other move, which is cool. But just because you don't like the way someone move and where they're moving, that don't mean they have to be a bitch. They don't mean they have to be a whore. That don't mean they have to be any type of name that you can think of that's disgusting to call them. Move around, right? You just don't fool with them. They're just not on your vibrational level. You and that woman do not fit. But believe this.
That's some true shit, man. Not everybody is on your level, man. Listen, like I said yesterday, right? Listen, listen, I'm not better than nobody, but I sure as hell carry myself better than that person. I sure as hell behave better than certain people. You see where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, listen, I am better than you because of the way that I carry myself. So if you want to take that the wrong way, hey, fuck it. And that's some real shit what Ms. Your Thoughts is saying, yo. Hey, she's telling you, the respectful way. I'm gonna get ratchet with it sometimes, yo. I'm sorry. I get tired of being a better person sometimes. So I get a little ratchet sometimes. It comes out of me. The fully comes out of me.
And always know this. That's still your sister. Treat her as such. I have a baby sister. And when my baby sister pisses me off, I tighten her right on up.
Mm-hmm.
I tighten her up real good. I pull her to the side away from mama that's going to cuddle her and all that. I tell her, I said, look, sis, I don't like when you said this. I don't like when you did that. I want you to give me some days so I can calm down, so it won't be a problem. But I want you to know I don't like the way you move. And sometimes I say nothing at all. I'll just say, don't bother me for a week. Leave me be. That's so I can get my energy level right. And that's so I can get all of the strife that I have and the hatred and vitriol that I have for her at that moment away from me. And I can correct my spirit. Then when I approach my sister, I can speak to her in a proper manner. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? That's because she matters to me. Every one of you all matter to me, whether I like you or not. And when I said like you, I don't mean I love you. It don't mean I have to like you. Do you understand? I don't have to like the way you move. So with that being said, don't force nobody to try to like you when you already know in your mind, because you're not really feeling. Because I see a lot of sisters here pretending to like one another. I'm gonna break this shit down for y'all.
Come on, let's go. I'm ready.
Listen,
let's go.
We can all be in the same gang. We can all support the same person, the same cause. That's cool. That's cool. And you don't have to like me. It's okay. But just know that I love you and I will never disrespect you. You dig on that? Y'all dig?
Hold on, can you say that one more time? Because I gotta hear that for the soul. Say that one more time. I'm sorry. Just say it one more time. I just need to reach my soul. Come on.
I'm just talking about.
Say that one more time. Come on.
I don't hate nobody. I love you. I love my sisters. I don't care. Even if you one of the sisters that I wouldn't even deal with on a personal level, I still love you. It's just that we're not on the same vibrational link. It don't mean nothing different, no, nothing more or nothing less than that. And see, by me being in touch and in tune with my spirit, I know what I can connect with. I know who I can touch. I know what gravitates to me. I know who needs me, and I can feed off and they can feed off of me. Because I believe in exchanging energy, not nobody zapping my energy away from me and taking everything from me. And we have a lot of sisters that want to take what you have away from you. And I can't do that because I know how expensive my energy is. So don't take it to heart because I may not do what you want me to do or move the way you want me to move. Just move.
That's some real shit right there, man. Look, listen, like I tell people, karma's my best friend. It's not my fault that shit. Listen, I find, how can I say, I find solace, right, in karma's embrace. That's not my fault that karma sits here and hunts you with no grace.
Around and find a sister that you connect with, but still love me like I love you. Because you understand me? And out of all these people that's in Kwame's thing, the person that I'm gravitating to most is right now is Miss Akimi. We're on the same vibrational level right now. Not meaning that I don't care for nobody else, because I don't talk to a whole lot of women in this sector personally behind the scenes and still love them. I'm talking about on a personal level. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So don't get mad at me or any other sister that don't feel in the vibrational high that you're on right now, because you might not. They're not just like you have a menstrual cycle. I'm not on my period today.
She said, "I'm not on my period today."
So I'm not feeling you today, but I still love you. You understand? Do that make any sense to anybody?
That makes
perfect
sense.
Yes,
you preaching today. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
So don't get mad at me. It don't mean I don't love you. And then maybe in the next 28 days or whatever the moon cycle is, that the moon cycle changes into a different position, then you might be on your moon cycle period time. And then my spirit might be connecting with yours at that time. You may need me, just like I've heard Miss Akimi. Let's talk about this. Miss Genesis 1 and Miss Akimi both were sensitive to what you said, beautiful one. You may both of them be emotional. Do you understand? So that means that they're connecting with your spirit at that point. At that point in that time, they are connecting with you. Right? And I heard you say something about you want God to draw all things to you, to draw unto you. Well, what you don't know is everybody has drawn to you, but then you have to know who's drawn to you and for what reason. They have to draw to you for wanting nothing from you, but just your presence.
That is so true.
Oh, honey. I did.
Right? They don't need your advice. They don't need your money. They don't need nothing. They just want you to be. And that's in their presence. Period. That's the people that I want around me. That's all I'm saying. So let's just think about this thing. When we're in these chats and all this stuff like that, and everybody having a good time, it's fine. We're on this thing to have a good time. We're having a good time. It's cool. Don't make it so serious. Just be cool with each other and love one another.
People can't get entertained no more.
And you don't have to fool with nobody if you don't want to. And the other person shouldn't be mad about it. Just like the other side. I hate no one over there. And I'm going to tell you something. And Lonnie, if you out in the chat,
shout out to
I'm so proud of you because I see your growth. I see your growth.
Yes.
Don't let nobody take you away from your growth.
Yes.
You are my sister, Lonnie One Love.
Yes, Lonnie.
You did. I know you have done some things and said some things. I've heard you. But you're moving different now. And you know that I'm communicating with you more when we communicate in the chat. It's because I see your growth and I feel your vibration. You are being lifted. So stay on that path, sis. That's what I want to say. Okay, now I'm going on mute.
Oh, why you leave smoke on the doggone stage before you leave?
Tell them.
God,
I'm people a chance to talk.
You leave the smoke on the stage, right? I mean, you can't do us like that. We like, look, I'm sitting back like, have the floor.
I'm just saying, you know, and this is when I know why she bow in and out, because she feel all this tension and all that crazy stuff going on, and people don't like strife. It don't mean that don't nobody love you. It just
I
at that
can't,
time staying on that
this
vibration
your thoughts is funny.
with you. So don't hate on her sister. Love her even more. That's when they need love even more. That's what I'm saying. They need to be embraced even more at that time. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
So
that's some real shit, y'all. The problem is that we, you know, there's war here on earth, and there's war in the spiritual. See through the facade with hearts unplanned, no longer pawns in their game of charade. Let's find our own path and not be swayed. I feel like I'm surrounded with people with strings attached to their back, waiting for their master's command. It's like when I was little, right, and I was reading Pinocchio. Every time that he told a lie, his nose grew. It's just that, you know, in real life, their noses don't grow. Karma just catches. In the shadows we see a love so pure and meek, but all that's left is a ghostly echo, a memory bleak, longing for a bond that's true in this world so cold and weak, yearning for the love we knew before the all turned antique, lost in illusions of affection, bleeding like the mist, hollow hearts yearn for connection, any realm dismissed, seeking solace in echoes of the past where love truly exists, but all we find are mere reflections of what loved ones kissed. Amidst the ruins of our hearts, we search for something real, yet all we grasp are faded echoes of what used to appeal in this world where love has become just a commodity to steal. It's just a little food for thought. I feel as though, like, a lot of women that come on this app do it to seek attention, right? And it's a shame, right? Because we do got a lot of older women on here that should carry themselves better and demand respect, right? Like, respect is a wage. Nah, it don't work that way.
That's your question. Don't move.
Okay. I'm gonna go on mute, but I'm listening. Okay.
Go on mute, but listen. All right, hold on 1 second. I just want to say what's up to JJ London and British Dan. I just wanted to, and Diana Preston. I just wanted to speak to you guys, DL, everybody in the chat. And also, like, as far as like JJ, and I do want to thank you, Lonnie. Lonnie, I promise you. But Lonnie's a Virgo. So we change, you know, but we're going to always be different, you know, we're going to always be grounded in a way, you know, but we're going to always be different. You know, we're going to find our way in everything that we do. I'm finding my way through you ladies. So don't get it twisted. We all growing. I'm growing just like Lonnie is, you know, so I'm no different than Lonnie, you know, so I appreciate you, Lonnie, for, you know, and I watched that live. I appreciate you for questioning, because a lot of times women don't feel like they need to be questioned. And she stood up there and she held her ground, you know. So, Lonnie, we love you and we thank you too for just speaking your opinion and being honest about the situation. And I appreciate you. And as far as like JJ London, JJ, you a sister over here. Don't get it twisted. Do not ever get this twisted. I saw the disrespect that you have been through. And one of the things that pissed me off is when I saw the things that you had to go through and endure. And I give you much respect for just keeping your cool. JJ, for you not to be able to be going off on here, baby girl, whatever God has for you, walk in it. Walk in it. Because it's yours. Walk in it.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave. I'm going to say this and I'm going to drop down. This is the last thing I'm going to say.
Come on.
I want the women to stop looking at color.
Mm.
Stop looking at people as color. Stop seeing the color of a person and the outside of a person. Try to view people in the spirit in which they are moving.
Oh, say that.
Okay? So, and I'm saying this because if we start looking at people as spiritual beings, that is what we are. This outside is just this is just the outside of our body.
Come on.
But the inside, that created us all are inside of us. So just remember, forget about the color. Look at the spirit of the man and the woman and watch how they move. And if they're moving the way that you like to move with them. Don't move with them. The ones
that's some real shit right there.
Spirit with you, just let them be, because you're not supposed to be equally yoked or spiritually yoked. And it's okay. Still love that spirit. Why? Because we all came from that same ball of fire.
Come on. Say that.
Tell them, Ms. Your thoughts.
Then you won't hate your brother, because that's a part of you, whether you like it or not. The people on the other side, they are part of us, whether we like it or not. You dig?
I just don't seem to understand why is it that the majority of the people are getting here mad because a lot of people support, an ex-NBA player. You see where I'm coming from? Like, listen, if the man doesn't want to be seen as a celebrity, right? He doesn't want to be seen as a celebrity. How does that affect us? How does that harm us in any way? You see where I'm coming from? Like, I never understood this. And I do notice that a lot of women that sit here and bash other women is because certain women will sit here and support, a Kwame Brown, a double speaks. You see where I'm coming from? But at the end of the day, I see KB as a regular human being. I'm not fan struck.
Once a star on the court, now seeking peace. But the world only sees fame, not the man beneath. Kwame Brown just wants a normal life, yet his past follows, causing strife. Media scrutiny and public eyes, never letting him escape the ties. Yearning for understanding and empathy, but all they see is his celebrity. A man with dreams beyond the spotlight's glare, just hoping for some compassion to share. Kwame Brown seeks to break free from his past, to be seen as a person at last.
And that's some real shit. Take the celebrity away from Kwame Brown, and he's nothing more than just a man. So I don't understand why a lot of people be in their feelings when it comes to him. You see where I'm coming from? He's going to have an opinion. He's going to say what he's going to say. And at the end of the day, neither a man or a woman is going to change his way of thinking. It's the same way when Gary gets on here, right? Gary's going to speak his mind. And neither me, Word, or anybody else is going to change his way of thinking. We can give him another way of seeing things. But at the end of the day, as a man, he's not going to let me change his perspective unless I have something to back up what I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What I'm saying.
Wait, Gary said something in the chat. My bad. Gary says, does everyone know this? Do they have this discernment? Do they know how to observe? I think a lot of people like that, Gary. They really do. And that's the issue.
The people on the other side, love them where they are. I want always your thoughts. I used to cuss a nigga out, not cuss him out good still to this day. But why? It benefits me not. When you know better, you do better.
And the fact that the matter is, your thoughts, I can cuss so good.
Me too.
That's the problem. Like, I can really curse so good to where I can destroy you with my mouth.
Hey y'all, listen, beautiful one. I'm plugging this right now. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now, and I'm telling you I'm getting off of this damn thing. Listen, do y'all know that the powers are in your hands? the hands that we work with and we deal with, that is where your power is. And I'm going to do a live stream on it. I'm going to tell y'all all about the power of your hand and how you can move things and how your power is connected to the universe.
Facts, Ms. Your thoughts. And Gary, facts. I agree with you, but then I agree with you to a certain extent, right? Because I get what you're saying. Yeah, he does got powers, but see, I don't see Kwame Brown as a celebrity. He's an ex-NBA star. You see where I'm coming from, living a normal life. Now, he's on YouTube, yes. You want to know what I consider him as? An influencer, not a celebrity. You see where I'm coming from? For me, celebrities are who are currently in Hollywood. Yeah, you know, they've made movies. They're known for this, or they was, but they're ex-celebrities. To me, he's an ex-celebrity, an ex-NBA player. You see where I'm coming from? Now, currently, in the present, he is an influencer. I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel. What do you think, Taco? Somebody that used to be a celebrity, right? Now
they're a celebrity.
Right, but now they're like on YouTube, but they're influencers. But people still look at them as celebrities. But
you know what it is? They're not celebrities. They just is perceived as what they once was. So they'll forever hold the title in a lot of people's eyes. Oh, you used to be a celebrity. You used to be a celebrity. So all this is just people having their own opinion at the end of the day. But if that man get on here and tell you he's not a celebrity, that's just what it is. It's coming from the horse's mouth. That's like telling somebody the fire is hot, but yet they still got to stick their hand in it to see.
Facts, and that's what I'm saying. I don't see the man as a celebrity. Like, his past is his past. You see where I'm coming from? Like, he's not acting, he's not performing. He was an NBA player. I never seen him make movies like Michael Jordan. You see where I'm coming from? I don't see him rapping, and but I do see him come on social media bringing awareness to politics, sports and stuff like that. But as a celebrity, I don't see it. Not no more. He has powers, a lot of powers, yes, but it's up to him on how he uses it. But I'm not going to sit here as a woman and be starstruck and beg the man, oh, I want you to do this. I feel as though you should talk about this. You cannot say this. As a woman, I'm not going to sit here and tell this man what to do. You see where I'm coming from? And that's where the women start getting mad on these platforms. If he says no or he doesn't agree, women go, all hell break loose on this platform. And I've seen that in real life out here. My baby daddy is not a celebrity. You see where I'm coming from? And the man has said no to plenty of women, to the point where one bashed his head at one point in time in his life with a can of Bruce's jams. You see where I'm coming from? That should be crazy. So, like, I get where people are coming from, and I respect that. But we got to realize, right? These people have become famous, from being famous to becoming influencers now. Oh shit, we got the GOAT in the building before. Shit. We got the OG in the building. Don't curse me out, all right? Don't leave me, all right?
I ain't no go. I'm just an individual. Nah, but I definitely get what you're saying. But you have to understand who people are. All right, hold on. I might have to change it. Let me drop down because I got this headphone on. I'm gonna come right back, man. Let me drop down and change it up.
I'm like, wait, I know I always understand Gary when he's talking. I'm like, wait, he got the Timu mic from where? You over here passing on your Timu mic. Come on, word. Yep. I want to hear Gary's perspective, right? And then we're going to end it with Gary, right? Because I got to spend some time with my baby pops before he go to work. But I definitely wanted to put this back out here, man. But that's some real shit. Blessings. What you say, Gary?
Nah, but I said that was fast. I didn't even know I was on there still. But no, what I'm saying is that, sometimes we have to understand, even if you want to consider him an influencer, right? You have to understand, how is he influencing? He's influencing from his status, right? For example, if he was to turn around and do a bunch of gardening, he would still be a celebrity. He would be a celebrity still, because he's using the title that he once had. Right? He might influence other people in a different aspect, but he's using his status. Right? Once you hear, for example, he gets on there with Gilbert Arenas. Who's Gilbert Arenas? right?
He's
You're
still a
arguing with
celebrity.
a dude that was on your team. You're arguing about a thing that you had once had. You had claimed for the majority of your life, your status. You was a celebrity. Even if you don't like the way they consider you as a celebrity, you are a celebrity, right?
Okay.
You think people clowning you for whatever reason. So
I'm getting your point.
He is a celebrity.
So basically, because I'm gonna put it like this, because he's still doing the things that he was doing as a celebrity, you're saying that, you know, how can I say it? How can I break it down for others? Damn, there's another way to put this. I ain't worried, all right, y'all. All right.
Nah, I got
Basically, this is what you're trying to say is, in order for him not to be seen as a celebrity, right, he has to stop basically behaving as one.
No, I'm not even saying that.
Okay.
He understands that he has that stature already, right?
Okay.
That's all right. Like you see Fat Joe and Jadakiss they got the podcast, right?
Yeah.
They're using their celebrity to draw people to them.
Basically,
right?
he has
Cam
to
and
go.
Mace.
That's
Cam and Mace, they are celebrities. They're using they're using the influence of the celebrity for people to gravitate to them, right? They ain't talking. I mean, whatever they talk about is what they're talking about. But their name is a brand. You become a celebrity because you're a brand. You're no different from Walmart. You're no different from Target. You're no different from McDonald's.
I get where you're coming from. Because he's still latching on.
That makes you the celebrity.
Facts. He's still latching onto the brand, and in order for, I get where you're coming from. It's hard to break it down, but I definitely understood you now the way you just broke it down. I get. Okay.
You know, like it's different for people like me and you. Why? Because we are literally starting from the bottom.
Facts.
Right? And it's not. I'm not saying that we're trying to strive to be a celebrity. We are influencers, though, right? We're influencers because we have voices. We're saying what we're saying. If it reaches people and people are gravitating to it, if it's helping people change, you are an influencer, right? That's every one of us is that.
But you know
we
what's
don't
crazy?
have that name brand.
You know that
we don't have that name brand.
You know that his brand is not what drew.
Did I lose
he was really a celebrity. No, you ain't lose me. You didn't lose me.
Okay.
That's the crazy part.
Right.
Maybe that's why I'm seeing it the way I'm seeing it. You see where I'm coming from? I didn't see him as a celebrity when I got introduced to him. I didn't even know he was it until I started doing deeper research and knowing about him.
But I promise you like it just we have to understand this, right? Just because like you may not follow sports like that, right?
No, I don't at all.
But
at all. Maybe wrestling from time to time.
No, I'm just saying. But for example, if you Google Stephen A. Smith and Kwame Brown, his name is going to pop up. They're going to say what Stephen A. says about him, right?
Oh,
if you right, and that's what I'm saying. You are mainstream. Once you hit that stature of a professional level, as far as sports, entertainment, whatever, you are a celebrity. Whether it's good, bad, or different, it doesn't matter.
As soon as I review or react to a video of KB, I do get a lot of news feed from Gilbert Arenas, Stephen A. Smith, and all these other weirdos. I do get a lot of news.
And that's what I'm saying.
You making a point.
He may not want it to. Yeah.
I hashtag his name and they pop up. You're right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like for us, yeah, but that's like why for us, when we do this, we put hashtags to get our name out there. He ain't even got to do that. His name is already attached to certain people, and they're all celebrities. They're all what the world will consider A-listers because of their stature, their money, so on and so forth. He is a part of that. He may not want to associate himself with that, but that's what he is. That's like saying Denzel is not a celebrity because he's not spoken about all the time. He ain't caught up in that partying situation. See what I'm saying? But he is a celebrity.
Papoose doesn't want to consider himself. See, Papoose is like Kwame. Papoose doesn't want to consider himself a celebrity, but he doesn't deny the fact that he is a celebrity.
He can't help it. He brand when you brand yourself, you become when you brand yourself,
you just pulled the Papoose on me though. Hold up, wait a minute. Oh my God, Gary just pulled the Papoose on me. He was trying to riddle me out on some real shit.
No, I'm just telling you what it is, because some people may not want that stature, right? I'm gonna give you an example, right? Back in the 90s, Charles Barkley, you know who Charles Barkley is, right? The former basketball player.
I
he
know
told y'all. He told y'all, I am not a role model. He telling people I'm not a role model. You don't get to pick that. You telling me you're not a role model on a commercial. So what are you on a commercial for?
Oh, that's true. That's very contradictory. Very contradictory.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. When you get to that higher tier, right? And no matter how you put it, if you got money, people are gonna put you in that higher tier. The people decide who you are. You don't get to decide that. The only way you could decide that is if you hide. And for example, Derek Jeter, the former baseball player, you never hear him in a situation, you never hear him in controversy. But guess what he still is? A celebrity.
Like Dej Loaf. Dej Loaf says she doesn't want to be a part of the fame, and you don't really hear about her unless she's putting music out, but she's still a celebrity.
Right.
All right. I get what you're saying. It's basically people are saying, I'm not willing to sell my soul. I don't consider, like, that's all it is.
You don't have to sell your soul. Right. You don't got to sell your soul. You can do all the right things in the world and still be a celebrity.
Well, basically, once you hit the limelight like they do, there's no coming out of that. That's basically what you're saying.
You're not coming out of that. The only difference is TMZ's not looking for him. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
He may not be TMZ's celebrity, but he's still a celebrity. There's people gravitating to him. Matter of fact, I don't even want to make it look like that, but they put him on a pedestal on here like he still is a celebrity. People are gravitating to him like he's still a celebrity.
And it's
see what I'm
crazy.
saying?
My eyes, I don't see him like that, but I get where you're coming from, and that's true. You opened up my eyes in a different way. How can I say it? How can I put this into words? You've opened my eyes to see it in a different view. So now
it's a different
on the one
perspective.
side. Yeah, because I was stuck. I was trying to understand, certain people like, wait, why is y'all coming at this man the way y'all coming at him? Like, he's telling y'all constantly, I don't want to be seen as a celebrity, but y'all knocking him down. And it's like, it's not like he has a bad message. And like every other man out here, you get fed up and you get tired, and sometimes you're going to speak up. You see where I'm coming from? And I speak a lot on men should be able to express their feelings. If a female come on here and disrespect you, why can't a man disrespect her back? You see where I'm coming from? Like, you get tired of it.
If it's verbal, it should be no problem. But
Hold on, Gary. Hold on, my baby pops want to chip in real quick, Gary.
No, you ain't gotta do all that. Just real quick. The only thing I see wrong with that is instead of somebody rising above the disrespect, because the eye for an eye leaves everybody blind.
Ooh.
Don't let that go over your head.
Oh shit, he went old school on us, Gary.
Oh no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I do that all the time. I do that all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can have a conversation. I don't have to go back and forth with you. I just tell you you right. I don't believe you, but I'm just saying you right to diffuse it. You go ahead and keep speaking. I'm not gonna speak on it no more. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna just listen, and then that's it. We're gonna end it, and then when you contradict yourself, I got you. Yo, remember when? Okay, you said this over there, but over here you're saying that. Which one is it?
That's a real fact. That's a fact right there.
See, that's why we me and Word, we joke around a lot, but when we talk about observation, sometimes the best way to observe is to listen. A lot of people consider observation with their eyes. They got to see things. No, observation is all your keen senses. Listening, seeing, smelling, all that counts, right? So you wait for somebody to say, you know what? I said I didn't like, I don't have a problem with light-skinned people. Then you turn around and say, well, that light-skinned heifer or that light-skinned ninja. And you're like, wait a minute, you just said, right? So you get things done when you do an observation, right? So you gotta observe to get to a point to where, all right, I got you, I understand you. Like even you in your conversation, right? I let you speak, and then you have when you make your point, it's like that's cool. You don't contradict yourself. You just making your point, and then you trying to nail down your point, and nobody could refute that, right? Because you nailed it down. Right. The part of you nailing it down is, I definitely understand what you said. So you saying if I go downtown and start a petition, they're not going to have a problem with it because I went downtown and started the petition in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They can't refute what you did because it's already nailed down. There's nothing unlawful about what you're doing. There's nothing unlawful about how you went about it. So when you do it, you pinpointed it, you nailing it down, and all we're supposed to do is observe it. So now, wait a minute, if she could do that over there in Philly, we could do that in Baltimore, we could do that in New York, we can do that in Chicago, we could do that. You see what I'm saying? It's up to us to it's up to us for you to to understand what you're saying, but your consistency will always nail down your pinpoints.
Facts. It's like with me, like regardless of anything, like people sit here and they want to take on the negative parts of certain parts of this man's life, right? And I want to take on the positive parts to motivate the younger generation. And I don't do that just with him. I do it with a lot of people. You see, I'm going for the message. I don't care about the person's personal life. That's not my interest. So I completely get what you're saying. Completely, and you broke it down enough for me. Like, and I ain't even need word. I graduated.
See, word with word, you gotta be more complex. With me, I could like word would always tell you he's not gonna meet you where you are. I will meet you where you are. Why? Because I feel like I have the strength to not get pulled into anything that's gonna keep me where you at. Either I'm gonna pull you up or I'm not meant to be there in the first place. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that anybody's weak or nothing like that. I'm just saying I feel like I have the strength to either pull you up or I don't belong there. That's just the difference for me.
True. Damn, you couldn't have said it any better. So before we end this, John Gary, can you tell us what defines a woman and a man, and how should they carry themselves?
Well, what for me, I mean, let me speak on the man.
In your
I can't
opinion.
really speak. I'm gonna try to deal with the man. The man aspect is, he has to carry himself to a high standard, right? Most men, right? In my opinion, most men is not going to want to be thanked for doing the job that they're supposed to do, right? If you are, a parent, you're a dad, you're supposed to make sure that your kid is okay. You're going to make sure that they're provided for. You're going to make sure there's a roof over their head. You're going to do all of those things. That's not a thanks. For a man, that's a responsibility. And when he has that responsibility, he's going to hold it. There's no need to hold him accountable because the responsibility is going to keep him accountable, right? So that's what most men do, right? For a woman, I believe that a woman is supposed to be in feminine energy. Now, of course, there's times when they have to be, if they're single and all of that, you have to maintain your finances, right? That means you have to use masculine energy to maintain yourself, right? You got to provide for yourself. If you got a kid, you got to do all of those things. But the one thing that most women, I believe, they forget is that they're feminine because they're so used to providing for themselves. Once a man comes in, they can't shut it off. They independent. And as you know, me and Word would go back and forth like independence. Once you independent, you feel like you don't need nobody. But once you are an independent woman, a lot of times you're gonna lose your femininity, right? Just because you lay down and have sex doesn't mean that you're feminine. You're just fulfilling a desire. You see what I'm saying? And most women, to be honest, if a woman is independent, she just want to get hers and keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? That's masculine trait. That's a masculine thing. That's what men do. Right? When a woman gets intertwined and with a man, that's a soul. I call that a soul tie, which means you become one with that individual, and that makes you want to stay with that individual, right? And then you start to like them, and then love them, and then hopefully it gravitates into relationship statuses, right? But once you independent, let me get mine off. All right, I'll holler at you, you broke nigga, like Remy Ma. That's Remy Ma.
Oh shit, Remy Ma is really starting to get that representation because of what she's doing.
Yeah, because she talking about she running around here talking about dude is broke. She with this dude, and now she about to leave the dude, but because he knocked him out, now you got to stay with the dude. That's a masculine trait. That's a masculine lie. You didn't want to be with old boy. Just say you didn't want to be with him. I was coming back to you. You see what I'm saying? You doing masculine things because you feel like you're independent. But once you're dependent, you gravitate to somebody. But most women are now so independent that they don't know how to become dependent anymore. When you're feminine, you understand that the dependency it works with a man, so y'all can become one. Man plus woman equals child. That's a trinity, right? When that happens, that creates a family. When you have a family, everybody should be playing their role. The man is going to be masculine, the woman is going to be feminine, and the child is going to become born because masculine and feminine combined for that child. That's how most women are. So the one thing that I think women need to get back to themselves is femininity. So it's going to take some work, but we all got to do it.
I hear a lot of men saying that, women. Like, I don't know. I think we need to look in the mirror and see what it is. Because let me ask you, last question, right? What do you consider a woman that comes on here and disrespects men and calls them all types of bitches, then turns to a man to protect them? Do you consider them a lady, a woman, or a bitch?
I consider them a manipulator.
A manipulator. Lilith in disguise.
Yeah. For example, right? You cursing it. That's like a woman that slaps a man, right? You slap a man, but if the man smack you, you calling the police. Why? Because you know that man gonna get caught up. I don't believe that woman smacked you. Let me lock you up real quick. Yo, but she smacked me first. I don't believe you. And then the woman ain't gonna be feminine. Well, I was threatened for my life. She ain't gonna say that. I ain't smack him. He lying. Right? That's what women do. And the laws are governed for her to do so. Just like child support. You punishing me, you telling the man that I ain't give you no money, but I just gave you $100. That ain't enough for you. So now you go downtown and say I ain't never gave you nothing for the child. Oh yeah? Well, let's fix that. It's balancing out now, but look how long it took.
Damn, you're right.
How many men went to jail because they couldn't fulfill their child support? You know what I mean? Like, look, let's see. I want somebody to really see if people were getting locked up during the pandemic because they wasn't paying child support, right? How you supposed to pay child support? The whole thing is shut down, and then they still billing you for it because nobody's working. So once everything is activated, you kind of backed up. We gotta book you.
That's true. And let's not forget that since the 90s, right, a lot of men have getting arrested like fast. Like, how can I say it on the believe all women type shit? What I'm saying is that if a man gets accused of any type of abuse, right, is, arrest first, ask questions later. If a woman sits here and gets accused of any abuse, is ask questions, arrest later. You see where I'm coming from? And I tell a lot of women is, like, I fight for men's rights because of that too, because it's like at the end of the day, right, a lot of men have been innocently put behind bars, right, being innocent because they've been accused of whatever reason behind a woman's anger, behind a woman's emotions, behind a woman's revenge. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I'm going to get you by any means necessary.
Yeah, that's straight trash, right? But let's just look at it this way, right? If a woman falsely accused somebody of SA, right?
Mm-hmm.
He don't get convicted. What happens to the woman?
Now they're talking about starting to arrest them.
Before,
nothing happened.
My point. You see what I'm saying? When you know that you have things that you can gravitate to, which was your question, like, what happens if a woman does this to a man and then asks for a man to help? That's what they're built for now, right? You got to remember, there's people that wanted to be in relationships, but they took government funding to get the man out the house. Now they're single parents, and now they think they're independent. All of that starts from there.
Yeah, and I've gotten into arguments with women because they independent, they don't need a man for this, but they'll never run, especially when they start some drama. And I'm saying, if you're so independent, why can't you do it yourself? Like, don't sit here, call my baby daddy, don't call my brother. You real independent. Deal with that situation yourself. I'm not gonna see my baby daddy or my brother or somebody I care about in a casket behind your mess and your bullshit. I'm not gonna see my child in a casket behind that shit. Deal with it.
And
You ain't
then
need
we
a
as men, we gotta sit there and be quiet about it because you know it's not a manly thing to do to complain about the situation. Nah, we need to fix that. And we need to fix that soon.
It doesn't define you as a woman sitting here trying to be tough, trying to be a man. And this is what we're passing on to our little girls. That doesn't define you. If you're sitting here
Like
trying to chat a man, that doesn't make you a woman. Then you want to sit here and run to another man or the same man for protection after you've started some shit. It don't make sense.
If you all right, this is the best way you can tell if people are if women are feminine. If you see them in a relationship, do you see them as a commander or do you see them? I don't even want to name a name. Do you see them the opposite as commander? If you see them like commander, you see they striving for a marriage. If they're not like that, they're not striving for anything. There's an agenda behind it besides getting married.
A lot of women off social media are the opposite of commander. They come on social media pretending to be like commander, but in reality, their life is really in shatters. That's the crazy.
And that's what I'm saying.
Then I see the ones pretending like their life is in shatters, right? But in reality, it's not. And social media now ruins their life because they're pretending to, oh, my man is this on social media, but behind closed doors, he's nothing but a teddy bear. I was like, damn, how you bash that man like that for some coins? You see, like, I'm like,
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So they're not even like they doing this for clicks and views. You see what I'm saying? If you are authentic with who you are, you shouldn't have to portray nothing else but that. That's what people also got to understand too. Now the feminine, now these women are doing that. Now they don't understand that they're branding themselves as a difficult woman, or they branding themselves as a woman that could be compatible to a man. They don't understand. Once you come on these apps and you have these conversations and you getting all of these people that you're influencing people to think that what you're saying makes sense or has points or they like it, you are now branding yourself to be an influencer. In a way, you're still manipulating, whether it's positive or negative. We're all manipulating because we're trying to get you to see a viewpoint, right? Like even if you're trying to encourage somebody, you're manipulating them to say, like if you try this way, this may way work for you. You see what I'm saying? All of this counts.
That's true.
All of this counts.
You've been spitting some gems, so I'm definitely gonna do a little poetry that I'm about to edit your voice up a little bit, right, and put you behind the beat with me. You just spitting some gems right here. Yeah, because it's true. Like right now, a lot of us is like imitating the Remy Ma behavior, and at the end of the day, that doesn't influence that. Why are young ladies turning into what they're turning to? Because the role models that are here, like the role models that are left, what they looking up to, and they think is Cardi B this and listen. I'm trying to be very nice right now. I know I can go because I've been 2 hours into this, John, but nah. My big pop said he don't like when I go ratchet on this, John. So I'm gonna stay nice.
Nah, I mean just look at it. How many people, like you see how everybody talk about they want a man like how Sierra got a man, right? But how many people are being Sierra? How many of them being Sierra?
None.
They want to be Meg the Stallion. No, they want to be Meg the Stallion instead of Sierra.
Oh, you ain't lying though on some real shit. A lot of people acting like Remy, like they say they want papoose, right? Like I tell people, man, the qualities that Remy sits here and talks about papoose, right, are the qualities that a lot of women want in a man, which are the qualities that I already have in my fiance. I'll be stupid if I let that slide through my fingers. You see where I'm coming from? If we can't work it out, I gotta be woman enough to sit here and tell this man, look, listen, this ain't working. Like, what can we do to fix it? I love Eve.
Why we don't talk about Eve? Why we don't talk about Eve? She married and she kept it going. Right.
And let's
she
not
doing
talk
what she
about
doing,
that.
whatever it is.
Let's not talk about, oh, there's so many reasons. Let's not talk about that because she has, what was it? I think she married a white man or some shit like that. If I'm not mistaken.
Don't matter. She ain't in no drama. That. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Sierra because Russell Wilson is black.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It don't matter what the color of the man is. If you are feminine, you are going to draw a man to you. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with a man.
Damn, my baby pops said the same shit. Don't nobody want to be in a relationship with a man. You hear this, baby pops? And it's true. Like, damn, like the fuck he said it yesterday. Ain't nobody want to be in a sausage party. See where I'm coming from?
Right.
Like, shit.
What I want that for? Man, you be crazy and all outdoors, right? Nobody got no man wants time for that. A man is trying to find peace. A man is trying to build something. He can build something with a man, but that's a business. His family is not a business. It's his family. It's a legacy. It's something that he can pass down to his son or daughter, right? To grow into a generational situation. We supposed to be like men. We supposed to be having a conversation about growing wealth for the next group of people under us, but we don't have that situation because we too busy worrying about if my baby mother allows me to get my son, or damn, I wonder how my son is doing because I haven't spoken to him in a while because the baby mama mad because I'm not doing what she wants. That may be a small number, but to a lot of people, that's a situation that's very well spoken about. Of course, we got dudes that ain't trying to do nothing for the kids, but we can also say, hey, those are some of the people that's getting away with murder. A lot of them ain't on child support. They ain't getting arrested. They not going to court for child support. We can go on and on. It's the preference of the woman, right? If a woman is feminine, she will never have to worry about that problem because she's gonna pick exactly what she needs instead of what she wants. If she just picking for ding-a-ling, she's gonna pick she's making a bad choice. If she's picking for growth and elevation in a relationship, she will pick what she needs and desires in order for that to grow. That's just the way it is. So women, y'all must understand y'all are the key to family success in your feminine form. In your masculine form, you're into chaos and mayhem. That's the best way to put it.
That's true. And I really appreciate you coming on here. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, right, it's like a lot of men out here pushing that perception, that perspective that women should be like Remy Ma, Beyonce. You see where I'm coming from? They should be like Cardi B. In reality, no, it's not. If y'all would hear the real men, like Gary Bust It Down, shout out to him, my baby pop, shout out to the Word, Nate the Great. There's a lot of men out here that come on this joint and tell y'all, man, look, this is what I want in a woman. But we not listening. We hearing them, but we not listening. We saying that we want these qualities that y'all are telling us that y'all have, but in reality, we pushing them away. So let's be real, women. What do y'all really want? It's the question. Gary Bust It Down, you made a great ass point, yo, for real.
I'm just trying to help build a better foundation. As the 9% would say, a better you is a better us. So if you get better, we get better. And if we get better, the community will get better. It's all about growing. You can't grow if you're grown, you can't grow. You have to be willing to grow. That's just the best way to put that.
That's a fact. And I appreciate you, man, because you've been bold and you showing us, right, that, listen, as a man, I'm not scared to come up on a panel, right, on social media and tell y'all what a man is instead of sitting here acting like a fool for some fucking coins. Because listen, you gotta have balls, you gotta have some cojones to do this shit. Some men don't do it. They come on here and they prefer to, act the fool. So I really do appreciate you for showing us, right, and talking to us, right, on what's your perception, on what you perceive, right, these things to be. Because at the end of the day, it's your opinion and how you see it. We can't judge you for that. All you've done for me is opened up my eyes, right, to see it in another way, to perceive it in another way, which I wasn't seeing it before, right? To understand another way. What I've done is opened up my mind, and I'm willing to learn, different opinions and different thoughts, get a better understanding of why people think the way they think and why, we behave the way we behave in this world, in this era. And I think it's going to take a minute for us to even figure out why we do the things we do as humans. But as we talk, I learn. I'm not going to sit here and deny the fact that I gained some wisdom and some knowledge out of each and every one of our conversations.
Well, the fact is, there's so many people that want to talk about bring a table. We don't need a damn table. We can sit on the goddamn grass in a circle and have a conversation. The foundation is needed. In order to place the table somewhere, there must be a foundation. Start with the foundation. Stop worrying about the table.
And that's what we're doing. And that's the truth. We having conversations that lead to the roots of each problem, And with that being said, Gary, I really appreciate your support coming up on this, John. But I'm about to get off this, John, right, and get my day started with my baby daddy. I really, really appreciate you, Guys, make sure y'all go check out Gary. Sub up, show him some support on his sports channel and on his POV channel. I call it a POV, right? Because he does have a regular channel where he talks. He just hasn't been on this, John, man. I appreciate you for coming on this panel. And guys, a shorty out.
Religiously, understand the 7 princes of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. There's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint now when we say demons are our owners, what happens when you vibrate in that frequency, when you have those emotions? Understand what emotions are. Your soul has to express itself. How does it express itself?
The wrong one, my bad.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together with a man we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan,
Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man. It's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list. But we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. Then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.